For that?
Is it recording?
Yes.
All right, guys.
Hold on.
Make sure definitely recording. We gonna keep this podcast going. Let's do this.
What's good?
Okay, I just know by the thing that it's that we're on the right spot. Oh, why is it so far away from me? Okay, let's go. What's up, everybody?
What's good, people?
Welcome back to another episode of Is This Gonna Cause an Argument? My name is Angel Lakita. I'm really messing up my name. Angel Lakita Moore, also known as That Chick Angel. Tell them who you are, baby.
Specializing in Swahili.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
Marcus Tanksley, the other host of Is This Gonna Cause an Argument? Welcome back. Welcome for the first time.
I don't know why you never like to say this in your intro. You're my husband.
Well, you know, we still working on it.
No, the hell we're not. Married for 12, going on 13 years. This podcast is a bi-weekly podcast. We have it every other Wednesday. And we cover everything under the sun, whatever's on our mind, whatever's on your mind, whatever's happening in the world today. We are going to touch on it and we are going to talk about it. So if you haven't already subscribed or followed us, please do so. This podcast can be found on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and it's soon coming to Pandora as well.
Dope.
So you'll be able to find us in so many places. And then you can follow me, Angel, at That Chick Angel. That is ThatChick Angel on all social media platforms. Tell them where they can find you, baby.
Y'all can find me on Instagram at Marcus Ain't on the Gram, and now on Facebook
at Marcus Ain't on the Book. You can find them there.
I still think that's hilarious. I need to get that up and going because I haven't been over there yet.
It's
that's a new account, so y'all please go friend me on that, and I'll be sure to start
uploading to that. Yeah, he'll start uploading to that. He also has his own brand, Man Shit, that you can
beard and body butter called Man Shit. MANSHYT. So you can go on to manshit.com and see. Well, I only have one product right now, but go on there, see what you like. It's 100% natural.
Yes, it's for the low of $15, and you can also follow that account that's also not actually having anything uploaded to it, but he's about to work on that.
Every now and then, yeah, I'm work on that too. That's at
Get Man Shit on IG.
Instagram.
So this is our first segment that we like to do. That's and I still have to. If you all can, who have been listening to this podcast for a while, can help me think of a name for this. It's our "What's Pissing You Off" segment.
Yeah, we called it grinding your gears,
and
getting
I hate
to
that.
you. We called it a couple different things. Why ain't this keep?
I'm trying to think of what I want to call it, but if you have any ideas, it's not only what's pissing us off, but what's got us in a good mood. So, baby, do you got something that's pissing you off? Because if not, I can
go ahead and go. I got a couple things, but go ahead.
5th grade is pissing me off.
30 years removed, but it's still
no. It's really LAUSD, the school district that we're in. It's just not up to par to where I want it to be, and it's not actually 5th grade, but it's the hunting for where we're going to send our son for 6th grade. And I just wish we lived in a school district that was not only diverse, but also had like better options for kids as they get older. It just pisses me off that as much money as we pay to live here, that this is what I'm having to deal with right now. It's pissing me off.
I mean, that's in the general, throughout the country, they need to work on. But out here, I've never seen anything like this, because coming up, wherever you lived at, that's just the school you went to, and it wasn't no thing. Like, we know people out here, they got 2 different kids in 2 completely different schools in near the same grade. Right. And I've never seen anything like it until we started, for our oldest son, trying to find schools for him and all the stuff that Angel was going through, because, I couldn't do most of it because I was at work. But it's just like, I can't believe it's this difficult.
It makes me think of this documentary I watched a long time ago. It was dealing with preschools in New York and like what parents go through to get their child into the best preschool. Granted, I wasn't dealing with that. I'm not dealing with that because we're talking more about middle school, not preschool.
Yeah.
But it's still like it's very hectic. So that's what's pissing me off. LAUSD, do better.
Yeah.
What's pissing you off?
One thing that's pissing me off and actually making me happy is the Dave Chappelle stand-up that he recently done.
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it. And what I'm also enjoying about it is it offended so many people. But also that's what's pissed me off is so many people are mad about his special.
You can't imagine why people would be mad
Oh,
about
yeah,
his
I
special?
definitely get it.
Okay, so why is that pissing you off, though?
Because it's like, I have a feeling if it was coming from somebody different, it wouldn't matter as much.
No, I feel like if it was coming from somebody different, it would be a heightened situation.
Even more because people expect, it's Dave Chappelle, so he has well-rounded respect.
Yeah, he has well-rounded respect, and he's always known for pushing the envelope. But I feel like there's one area that a straight, white, non-Jewish male could not hit as hard and think he was going to receive as much like love as Dave Chappelle has for this special.
Yeah.
I definitely don't feel like a female could pull it off any color.
Nah.
It would be like, you're canceled.
Yeah. Everything for the next 15 to 20 years. You got to get strung out, go to rehab, relapse, go back to rehab, and then get out, and we may give you a special.
Right. I loved his special. I really did. I liked it a lot. But I am fully aware that it's not just, he's just brave enough to say it. No, there is a privilege that he has.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's a privilege that he has. And he punches that line and crosses it.
He does it well. Yeah,
he does do it well. He brings up good points, though.
He's I will say this about Dave Chappelle as
y'all probably hear noise. We have a mother-in-law and a baby.
just doing their own thing.
Kinds of noise in the background.
If you're watching, and you can watch this podcast on YouTube, on That Chick Angel TV. If you haven't already, you've already seen my mom walking through. She's getting ready for her nighttime. Good night, mama. But yeah, he's very insightful, and his perspectives a lot of times are enlightening, even though they're sometimes like, come on, dude, you can't say this, but they are sometimes very enlightening, and you can't help to laugh, even though maybe you shouldn't. What's got you in a good mood? Anything got you in a good mood? Dave Chappelle's got you in a good mood?
Again, I always try to keep in the back of my mind of where we going with all of this. As stressed as I may get on a day-to-day basis sometimes, that didn't even make sense. As stressed as I get on a day-to-day basis sometimes. Yeah, it's an oxymoron all through that. But yeah, I always look at this completely different. We're trying to give y'all product that y'all can enjoy, that y'all will seek us out, more people will seek us out. So that's always keeps me on my toes and wanting to do stuff like this more and more. Seek out, do some collaborations and everything. So that keeps me in a good mood.
Good. What's got me in a good mood? It's two things. I can't remember one, so I'm going to give you the one that I can remember. Earlier this week, my husband said to me, not earlier this week, last week, he said the light of his day, or the like silver lining of his day, is coming home to me.
Yeah.
He said that for real.
That. Can y'all believe that?
He said that out loud.
Some new people, they may believe it, but the old people, he ain't say that.
He said that to me. I was like, get out of town.
Yeah, that's the light at the end of the tunnel. I get to come home to her.
You see my grand, if you watch it, if you can hear it. They can hear my grand. It's very sweet. I wish I could remember the other thing. That one I knew I was going to say today, and then there was something else that that was blessing me today, and I just can't remember what it was. But
something I said?
No, it
I was going to say I'm on a roll then.
It didn't have nothing to do with you, but it was something good. If I remember it, I'll bring it up.
Nothing to do with you.
It has another thing to do with you, but if I remember, you don't, right? If I remember, I'll bring it up later. But now that we're done with that, let's jump into the topic of the day, which you actually just stumbled upon. Obviously, my husband didn't know the topic of the day.
I'd find out when y'all hear it from her.
Or when he produces it, when he produces a podcast, which he's done one, and you did a very good job on that
damn
one.
Right, I did a good job.
Then I need you to do more.
You already know.
Amen. I need you to do more. Is how to deal with stress. And also being transparent and letting them know how we deal with stress. As my husband briefly mentioned, and then I'll let him talk more on his own situation, and I'll talk on my own. But as he mentioned, he be stressed out,
Yeah.
as he said, every day, some of the time,
all day, every day, sometimes.
I recently today the reason why we're doing this topic today, or why I was like, oh, we should do this topic, because I had some other ideas, is that today I felt like I hit a pinnacle of stress. And it's all revolving around my children's education, and
it's important.
It is. But I also am like, am I doing team too much? I don't know. I'm so freaking stressed out. We had a back to school night at the school. My husband was supposed to go, but he allowed himself to get stressed out at work and then leave work in a timely manner, which you really should have. Should nobody be getting that many hours from you.
That wasn't stressed out. That was just, I need to do this, and it ain't done yet. Followed by a little bit of stress.
Yeah, exactly. So I was at the back to school night by myself with all of the kids, all 4 of our kids. The kids were fine. But as the teachers began to break down what they were going to be expecting out of our 5th graders, I really truly felt like my 10-year-old is not prepared for what 5th grade is bringing down the pipeline. Now, I asked him when we left, I was like, you ready for 5th grade? He was like, well, I'm already in 5th grade. I said, well, are you ready for what all is going to happen in 5th grade? He was like, yes and no. I mean, he don't really know. But based off of what I was hearing, I was just like, what in the world? How are we going to do this? And this is on top of my son didn't get into this program that I really wanted him to be in, that was going to help us find a good private school for him. So now I'm having to do all of that work, all the research, kind of by myself. All the applying, it's going to be more costly on our end to now apply to these schools. And so I'm thinking about
and on top of the current school does, they require a lot of the parents.
Yeah, and I do a lot at that school. I volunteer enough for a bunch of families. And then getting him ready for a standardized test that's really hard. And I'm just like, how am I going to do all this? Like, my brain is literally oozing out of my ears, and I am hella stressed out about it. But before we talk about how we're dealing with these stresses, I want you to break down your stress.
My stress?
Yeah.
My stress is just work and other things outside of work, like just in everyday life.
Be more specific why work is stressing you out.
Well, work is stressing me out because basically I transferred to a different department, and I've been in my field for long enough to where for the past, 15 years probably, people seek me out for what I know. Like, pretty much I've been like, people hire me for what I know, that I get contracts because of what I know. However, switching over departments in the company that I'm with now, they're the type of company that's like, they want to train you up. They want to train you for the next position. So they will purposefully put you into something that you have no experience with whatsoever for you to learn it, which is good. However, my transition over didn't go as smoothly as it usually does, I don't think. From what I hear, it didn't. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of handed a pile of chaos. And so dealing with that on top of the stress of I don't know if it's the stress. Yeah, the stress of being in the position of this huge learning curve and trying to figure this out, and being in a different position of, I don't know nothing, I'm here to learn. But someone of my age and this level in my career is like, no, if you don't know something, then you're no good, to the company. So that is like lingering, where you have someone that may be coming on new, and it's like, oh no, this is great, I don't know this stuff, I'm getting to learn this, blah, blah. However, it's hard to adjust your to adjust your mentality and your way of thinking to, well, let me just take time to learn this, because like, no, at this level in most people's career that I've been in as long as I have, it's like, no, you already know everything you need to know, or at least you should know everything you need to know. So that has been very stressful for me.
Do you know why you won't grant yourself the grace of realizing that you changed, even though you've been in this field, but you changed positions drastically? How come you're not giving yourself the grace of a new hire?
I don't know. I guess I was expecting a lot more out of myself. I don't know. I really can't. I can't. I don't know. I don't know if that's actually the pinpoint or not. But that's pretty much where I'm at though.
Yeah. Okay. That's very telling. We'll delve a little deeper into yours, and then we'll jump back to mine. Marcus had in our relationship and us being together for so long has become way more transparent with me about his feelings, which he was not that person before. He was not one. I'd be like, "What's wrong?" He'd be like, "Nothing." Where there's clearly something wrong.
Yeah, we this was a podcast. That's just what guys do. Just go back and find it.
Clearly, there was something wrong. Where I want to say, at least in the past 2 years, especially after the passing of his father, he's been a lot more intentional about telling me, because my whole thing was, if you're not telling me, and I know you're not telling anyone else, so like, you have to let some of this out, because
them other hoes, they don't want to hear it.
Shut up. It's not healthy to keep all of that in. And I get it. It's not as if I always express all of my emotions, especially when
it feels like you do though.
I don't, especially when it's a negative emotion. I don't always express those. I don't like to feel like a complainer. So I don't always express my negative emotions. So with
with my father passing, it was like, that was the realization of, okay, I need to start talking about some of this stuff, because I'm gonna mess around and lose my mind.
Right.
And that's when, and then also actually talking about things, it does help. It makes you feel better. A lot of men don't realize that because they don't talk about it. Yeah. They don't talk about anything. It's just like, all right, whatever, I get over it. Mm-hmm. Or, they just harbor it in. But I realized talking about it, no, it actually does help. And that's a handicap that most men, I won't even say a lot, most men have.
Yeah.
And that's because, it's like, oh, he just gets quiet, and like, it's probably something he needs to be talking about.
Mm-hmm. You're I don't know what the word is. I'm about to make it up. Ruminating on it. Like it's just playing.
Is that what you're going to say?
I'm just going to use that word and tell somebody in the comments, tells me what I was trying to say.
Swiftly. You're going to get 19 suggestions.
But it's playing in your head. There's nothing wrong with self-reflection, but sometimes you need an outside perspective because your view of it could be skewed.
Yeah.
And sometimes the person that has more of a bird's eye view can tell you more of what's happening around you instead of you being focused on your whatever you feel like the problem is. And I will say, Marcus, when it comes to work stuff, that seems to be a big trigger for your stress. Not only your stress, but whenever you get depressed. Work seems to be if I go through all of your work experiences prior to this
that's place, like for most men that could trigger stress, because it's like, all right, that's what the man does, he provides. So if you're in a position or in a company or in a situation that you feel like it's dragged on for a long time, or you're trying to find a different route out, or you want to go do something, you feel like you should be doing more, that for men can be very, we know other guys have gone through that. Just not being where they want to be, or trying to get where they want to be and not being able to do it in the time that they feel that's adequate, does bring on a lot of stress.
Well, I guess the little bit of problem I have with that is that, obviously this is a 2-income, household. We both bring in money that's necessary on both ends to make ends meet. But I think a lot of it has to do with where you put your purpose where you put your purpose. Because one thing that I'm always, when Marcus comes home to me stressed, I try to be very open-minded. I try to, pray with him, bring up scripture to help get his focus back to where it should be. But at the end of the day, I'm always thinking, it's just a job. Like when you come to me, like in the back of my head, I'm trying to figure out how come you can't get there. This is different. Just a job.
I think our career paths are different in that aspect.
Why? Because I haven't been able to keep a job?
No, I mean, not ain't what it is. But you've always said it. But it's like your career, the way because you an actress, so jobs are short lived anyway. And y'all, granted, you all deal with a much higher rejection rate than anybody else. Mm-hmm. But because you deal with a higher rejection rate, it's just like, all right, I'll go out for the next audition. To where in most people's careers, it ain't that simple of, okay, we just going to go out for another audition. Or we just going to...
But that's not, I get how you're making that comparison.
It ain't a job, it's a career.
But I get how you're making that connection, but that's really not what it is. Because I know of a lot of females. If you look at my line sisters, my Sands, they will hop off a job in a second to go to another job. Like for
y'all
them,
deltas, that don't count.
No, truly,
crazy heifers.
But for them, it's
I don't love you.
It's about points. It's about points on a path. It's not so much about this job has a bunch of meaning. Yeah. To me in life, this job is just a step, and that step might be a quick step. It might be a step that they land on, but it's not so much about this job, because it's not. I'm not saying your career isn't important. I'm saying that this is just a job within your career, which potentially is just a step. It'd be a little different to me. The stress of it all, if it were like your company, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Then I might be able to understand. But this is, at the end of the day, it's a job. You get? Yeah. And so I'm always trying to figure out why that part does not ever resonate with you. It feels like this sometimes has such a strong hold on you, and I want to be like, it's just a job, like. We know one thing for certain, that the Lord that we serve will always make sure you have a job.
Yes, fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you come home stressed about it, it's just, for me, obviously, because I don't want you to have any health risks. I don't want your blood pressure high. Stress is something that can bring about cancer. I'm thinking, why let something so minuscule as a job? But you hit on just now earlier, what it really is, and I hadn't been able to figure it out. And it was, you said, I think it's because I'm not doing as well as I thought I would. Yeah. Like your expectation is not being that. Now, this is the first time I've ever heard you say that. Makes it make so much more sense to me.
All right.
Don't just add 2 words to goddamn conversation.
I add 2 words. See, all women are psychiatrists.
No.
All of y'all are.
No.
Even the crazy ones, which are most of you.
No.
But it takes crazy to try to understand something that might be crazy.
No, I do want to be able to understand you, and I do want to be able to be the best help that I can be in your situation. And so this is, like I said, the first time, because I was just like, this ain't, it's just he working for some people who got a lot of money that pay a whole bunch of people. Like, this is just, yes, it's a great job.
You forget about these bills we got floating around here?
People
want the newest expedition, not just the one that I picked out.
What I know without a shadow of a doubt.
These papers ruffling?
Your work record.
That ain't bills, but.
Your work record, your work ethic, you will always be able to get.
Yeah, and I realized I'm favored. I'm blessed when it comes to careers because I've only climbed the ladder.
Yeah, you never went lateral.
I've never made a lateral move, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, no, I don't know.
Truly, because I'm thinking, if you stressed, then where am I supposed to be at?
But you are calloused to where you at. It's like all of y'all, even the most successful of your group of friends in this whole actress world goes through that.
No, there are people who are definitely stressed. This is I'm not stressed. I'm not stressed.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Y'all get callous to it. This is like
no. What I'm saying is, no. There are some of my friends that are stressed.
Yeah.
I am not one. I'm not stressed about it. I'm not. I know that. I know God got me. I don't. What it like?
That's true.
At the end of the day, provision is not something that I feel like the Lord is just going to be like, oh well. We sitting on a house. At the end of the day, we sit on a house we can sell, and we'd be straight for a while. Like if
so we can sell this house and just start doing this full time and be all right.
We'll be all right. I don't know where we're gonna be living, but yeah, we would be.
We
straight.
gotta know people with apartments and stuff, houses.
Now that we've picked apart yours, son, we can move on to mine. A lot of people always like, Angel is such a busybody. When's she gonna sit down? I know some of you all have put in the comments, Angel, have you ever just chilled out like for your postpartum?
No, that's her mama's.
I have.
You see her mama right now.
When I'm not editing or at an audition, when I have downtime, I actually do take it. I sit on the bed with the baby and watch some random show.
So what about before this pregnancy? Well, before the baby was here. I don't know you to sit down and just do anything. Like Angel, I've seen you get busy doing nothing.
And let me tell you, I am a busybody, but that is not what causes me stress. What causes me stress is not the amount of things I have to do. It's when I don't have control over the amount of things. That, like if there's something that I can't get control of, that's what causes me stress. And that's the reason why this whole my son being in 5th grade and going to 6th grade is stressing me out, because I don't feel like I can get control over the situation. So much of it is on him. You know, I mean, this is truly his life, and we are his parents, and we're trying to raise him the best we can. I'm trying to afford him the best opportunities for him to be able to be successful later on in life. But then,
and then again,
there's only so much I can do, you know?
And then again, it is 5th to 6th grade.
Very much so. It's just 5th to 6th grade. Absolutely. It's not like going to college.
Because we can look at my 5th and 6th grade schools, and we can go back and see, compare the two of what they were then and where he's going to now.
Yes. No, and I get that. I do. However, I feel like this can be a slippery slope really quickly. Mm-hmm. That if he gets into one of these overpopulated schools, that he could easily fall so far behind that we are like now trying to do a sprint holding.
You ain't gonna let that wouldn't happen, because you such a education freak.
I am, but I don't want to be working against that. I don't want to have to work against that much. Because
no, I understand that.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, it would be, if you notice that, you would definitely step in and make it happen. But granted, we don't want to have to do that.
Right. But I'm being proactive because I know that is what would happen at a regular public school.
Gotcha.
And he is not. He's him. He's not me. There are a few places you could put me education-wise that I'm not going to figure out a way to thrive. And this is not trying to toot my own horn. I just like learning that much that I will focus hard on just
let
doing
Angel find
well.
a degree she's interested in, and she'll enroll right now to get that dang degree.
Like one day I do want to go to seminary school, not because I want to be a preacher, but I do like the thought of understanding the Bible on a way more factual level. But like, you know, when I got my last master's, I had the twins.
My last master's.
I had the twins. I had life going on, auditions. I was doing the moms. I was doing a lot of things, and I was able to do it. That is not my son. And we recently just had a conversation because he likes, if he can find the easiest way out, he'll do it. They had this assignment. All he had to do was list 5 people from a list of the most influential Americans that he would run or write a paper on. And they gave them a full list on the front and on the back. And when I tell you this boy, his top 5, The first two people's names started with the A. The next person's name started with a B. Then there was two people with a C and two people with a D. That lets you know how far down the list he got. He was just like, this
he didn't bother to find out who was on the list.
He didn't care. He did not want to have to go through that list. And I was like, Marcus, you have to stop always trying to find the easiest way out. Like, your goal should be to try to do well. Do good. Do great. Even if you don't actually do great, that should be your goal. Not let me figure out the easiest way to get this over with. I was like,
we both work on trying to get that spirit of laziness out of it.
Oh my God.
Because he is a smart kid. But he will try to find. They say if you give the laziest person the hardest job, they'll find the easiest way to do it.
Oh, come on, I ain't never heard that saying, but let me tell you, that ain't my baby. And so with that being said, that's what's adding on the stress, because I know him so well. And so a part of me is like, well then, just let him fall on his face. But you know what? He won't even know he fell on his face.
Right. This is cool.
Right.
I don't know why we didn't just do this a long time ago.
It stresses me out, because I don't know if he'll grow out of this. I don't know, obviously I don't know what the future holds for my son, but I refuse to be the one to give up on him. To just be like, well, F it. You don't want to try. Fine. And he's too young for me to give up. In your 20s,
we'll give up. But right now.
When I tell you, they're learning 3 different sciences right now. 3 different sciences within the week. On Monday, they do one science with one teacher. On Wednesday, they do another science with another teacher. And then on Friday. And they will have assignments, homework assignments, in all 3 of those sciences. And I'm like, wait, this is on top of language arts, social studies,
everything else. This is just math. One other thing.
I'm like, how is he supposed to keep that all straight in his head? Like, why aren't we just breaking this up and doing one?
That sounds like my middle school fiasco with French and Spanish.
Terrible.
Took them both at the same time. Like, I'm gonna knock both of these out.
Terrible.
When I tell you, it was like 2 trains headed toward each other, weighing the same amount. Nobody stayed on the tracks.
Oh my goodness. I was just so perplexed at why they thought this was the way they should do it. I get if we were preparing for college, because that could literally happen in college. You could take 2 different sciences at once. But I was like, in elementary school, why would you do that to my child? And I left that goddamn going back to school night with thinking I was about to pull all these twists about my head.
Yes, that can be stressful. They're hearing it is stressful.
So how do you deal with your stress?
Me, I try to take my mind off of whatever is stressing me out. One.
Like in what way? Like music? Are you just talking about something else?
Just talking about something else. Music. I love shooting. I go to the shooting range, gun range. Mm-hmm. Let off some. That's actually very, therapeutic. Me, I like doing stuff with my hands. Like Angel know, I'll go out and I'll wax my truck. Mm-hmm. Just to get my mind off things and just to focus on something. I'll start working on something or like building something. Well, not at this house, I ain't really built too much. But like I'll find little projects around the house and do those, just things that get my hands going, get my brain relaxing. Because that stuff relaxes my brain. It's like, even if you're like for me, if I'm building something complex, it's still very relaxing, because that's a part where my mind goes where something I understand, and it just relaxes me. Mm-hmm. I don't do a whole lot of unless I sip some bourbon on the weekend, I don't really just do a lot of setting quiet and thinking about it. Mm-hmm. I have meditated before, but it's not really a go-to, which it probably should be. Mm-hmm.
I keep telling him I think he needs a therapist.
But yeah, a lot of times I'll do these things I enjoy, which is usually working with my hands or something like that.
Would you ever give a thought to therapy? Going to therapy?
Yeah, I guess it depends on how it went. I would give it a shot.
You would give it a shot just to see how it would go?
Yeah.
I think I need a therapist. When I'm stressed, I make babies.
Just talk to yourself, because you know.
Shut up. I make babies when I'm stressed. That's why I have so many.
Is that what happens?
No, I eat. I stress eat. I'm an emotional eater, which is a shame. I hope that's something that I can break. I've been eating candy since I got home. I've been eating Snickers and Twix.
I ain't seen that.
Oh, you don't see this pile beside me right here?
I did not. I did not.
I sometimes, as I've gotten older, I will day drink, but I don't day drink by myself.
She's a social day drinker.
Yes, I day drink with other people, especially if I'm stressed. I'm like, oh, just give me. It's not that often, but I'm like, oh yeah, give me some champagne.
Yeah, I haven't been able to go, but the gym used to really help me out. Working out, that was a huge help.
Yeah, I wish that did it for me, because then I could be in the gym all the time.
And you would have even more babies.
Where that at? My thighs looking all right. I really wish I did have a healthier way. Like, I wish prayer was my first thing to do. I do find myself really like listening. I do feel like I'm listening more closely to God when I'm stressed, but I can't say that I'm actually praying. I'm just like looking for the sign for him to tell me that everything's going to be all right. Like, I am like I don't care where it comes from. I'm like, Lord, I'll know it's you when you give me the sign of either what I'm supposed to do or that everything's going to be okay. But I wish I had healthier ways to deal with stress. That's one reason why I want like a therapist / life coach. It's truly because I feel like I have mental blocks that I'm not aware of that keep me from achieving some of the things that I want to achieve. Yeah. And I think I need someone who can help point those out and help me come up with strategies of how to like push those mental blocks out of the way. And I just feel like
I'd be interested to see what kind of person or who that would be for you.
Why do you say that?
Because you're stubborn.
I'm not stubborn.
What?
I am not stubborn.
Say it one more time.
I am not stubborn.
Okay.
When it's good advice, it's good advice. Now, sometimes people are stupid and they think they're giving good advice, so and they're not.
It's good advice you want to hear, or something you need to hear?
No. If it's got some revelation to it, I can consider.
Because you got those people that want advice, but they only want to hear what they want to hear, not what they need to hear.
No. I want to hear what I need to hear, and I feel like it's a definite need to hear when it has revelation to it, where it's just like, oh, you made me hear this in a new way, or you made me hear something new that I haven't heard before. Okay. You remember at church, and we'll close out here soon because we try to keep our podcast to about 40 minutes. The video that we watched at church, did you feel like that video was speaking to you at all?
No.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how you did.
Oh, no. You talking about the fight video?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I was like, if he is not getting this
it just got repetitive after a while.
Yeah.
But it was a good video. It didn't help that I recognized like all the movies and stuff that was pulling the Saints from.
He had a little bit of Barack Obama.
Yeah, Rocky was in there.
Like, there's this thing, and I'm sure at other people's churches, our church is not the only ones who do it. There's like this very motivational video where they cut together like all these like fitness things, but somebody boxing, someone running through the rain.
It was mostly boxing.
A UFC fight, like, and it was all about our church is focusing on relentless faith and just basically never quitting, like getting to this point of just pushing through. And I really felt like, oh, this is truly, I feel like I have a relentless faith. Yeah. I think I do. For the longest time, I was praying for the faith of Abraham, and I stopped praying for it because the Lord kept putting me in situations.
Oh, yeah. It's like,
where it's just like,
it's going to build your faith right here.
I was like, I got it. I got the faith of Abraham. I don't need anything else. But I was like, yeah. And I didn't want to look at you because I know you be getting mad at me when I be looking at you like, see, it's the word for you.
When it's something like that, I'd rather not be anywhere near Angel in church. I'm like, let me experience this by myself. I don't need you all in my ear. God's talking to me right now.
You're stubborn. You're deaf.
No, you
sometimes.
Stubborn. Because I was about to say, so we had a podcast where I was talking about, so it depends on who the message comes from and not particularly what's being said. Because we've talked about how I could tell you something 4 or 5 times and you could hear from somebody different, be like, you know what?
You do the same thing, Marcus.
Because you do it.
That is not why.
Yeah.
You do it because
petty.
you.
I'm that petty.
That's the reason why he's taking this so much more serious now, because Roy L. Watkins said, yeah, do you want this to be your gig? Then you need to do what she says.
Yeah. If you wasn't the way you was, I'd have been like, you know what, Angel, you right.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
No, that actually, that's not what it was. I told you about that epiphany I had leaving work one day. Yeah.
Well, guys.
So yeah.
What I want to know, because I want you all's advice. I got a couple of questions for y'all. One, am I losing my mind when it comes to my son's education, or are there other people out here who are like, no, Angel, you got to start now, or this stuff will get harder because he's a black boy? Let me know. Or if I'm losing my mind, you can tell me that too.
I think you take an extreme caution in a good way.
You think so?
Yeah.
I hope so. I just don't want to fail at this. I don't want him to fail, and it be because I wasn't doing my work as his mom. 2, what are some ways that you negatively deal with stress? I know some people, sex, some people drugs. I mean, like I said, I sometimes drink. Well, if it's like if you're not in a monogamous relationship and you're just randomly sleeping with people you don't know.
I'm mad today.
I'm gonna make you angry. I'm gonna stress you out.
Yeah, you know they don't like you over there, right?
Angel, I didn't pay the mortgage. They gonna kick us out. And 3, what are some healthy ways in which you deal with stress? Give us some tips. If you have a way that it gets you settled back to a place of normalcy, let us know. We can use it. Like for real. I love knowing of ways to just get myself on the right foot, get myself motivated. So if you have those things, please share it with us.
Yeah,
leave it in the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can leave it in the comments on YouTube. My son is down in his chair just boo-booing our newborn.
Emptying his mouth.
If you're listening to it on SoundCloud, you can leave it there. I remembered what was the other thing that made me happy. This is a great way to close it.
What?
I told Marcus this already. We got an email from a site called Chartable. They rate all the podcasts all over the world, and based off of listens and I guess how people rate it. And Is This Going to Cause an Argument is ranked at number 77 for family podcasts. Excuse me. Now, mind you, there are thousands and thousands of podcasts that fall into that category. So to be in the top 100.
Yeah, that's dope.
I was like, wait, we number 77? I can't even believe that. So you guys, thank you so much for making us that. It's because of you all, because we can't do it on our own. So thank you for putting us in that place. So please, if this is your first time listening, please share us with someone else, and make sure you come back in 2 Wednesdays, and we'll be back with another topic. If you have any topic suggestions, please let us know in the comments, and we will definitely check it out and use it as an upcoming topic. And then there was one last section that I forgot to do, and I apologize.
Comment of the week.
Comment of the week, you guys. This is something that we do to acknowledge any comments that we get on our podcast, and we have a comment of the week from, hold on, you tell them whatever you're going to tell them, Marcus, while I pull this up.
You want me to do what?
Whatever you're going to say to close out. And then
I was going to say thank y'all for tuning in. And like she said, leave some comments, hit us up on social media. That chick Angel, and me at Marcus Ain't on the Gram.
And Marcus Ain't on the Book.
And Marcus Ain't on the Book.
Okay, this comes from, it's either...
And get you some man shit.
Yeah, get you some of that man shit. Okay, this comes from, it's either Cassandra or Cassandra Ward. She goes, yay, enjoyed every moment of this. I truly love you guys' interaction. You guys have me laughing so hard. So I don't hear no strong no for baby number 5. Sounds like there could be a slight possibility. Tank sounds like my brother. Nope, hell no. Done. It. Over.
That sounds pretty damn strong to me, Miss Ward. can't get no stronger than a hell no.
If you haven't listened to the previous podcast or having baby number 5, make sure you check it out. All right, guys, you all have a blessed week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. And you can catch us on my YouTube channel for our Monday and Friday vlogs. All right. Y'all be blessed.
Y'all have a good one.
We did
What's
it.
he be going through?
Everything.
Look at him, man. Right? He gets as nice and sweet as he is. He be having these little outbursts.
Y'all see my shirt? Y'all see my shirt? Stay out of grown folks' business. This is from Coco Ivy. She sent it to me. Thank you, girl. You all will see it on my Instagram tomorrow. And it might still be on my body tomorrow because I didn't put it on until late today. Don't judge me.
Put that on the first thing this morning.
No, I didn't. I got it from my P.O. box with my act right finally. Ugh.
Y'all have a good one.
Oh. That wasn't the off button.
You thought that was off button to that big switch was off button to the camera?
That chick angel.